Hello and welcome to a brand new series of the TES Secondary Maths Resource of the Week with me, Craig Barton. Now, if you are watching this just before the start of the school year, you might be thinking to yourself, what am I going to do in that first lesson? And a common teaching technique or a lesson format is find someone who. And it tends to go like you give kids a load of questions like find someone who's got a birthday in August, find someone who's got 2 dogs or whatever. And the idea is that kids go around with a sheet of paper with all these questions on and they've got to find someone who fits each of these criteria. And the idea is it gets kids talking to each other, helps them find out a bit about each other, and it's a nice way to start the year. And it's particularly useful if you've got a form group. But can we make that any better? And more specifically, can we make it any more mathematical? Well, with this wonderful resource, we can. Look at this. Distance, speed and time, find someone who, which has been kindly uploaded by Dave3292. It consists of a single file, so if you give it a click, you get a Word document, and it looks like this. I just move my annoying head out of the way. And it's a series of 12 questions, and they are mathematical questions about speed, distance, time. And the idea is, just as you'd run the standard activity, you give kids these and they have to wander around the classroom and find someone who, not who has a birthday in August, who has 2 dogs, but who can answer these questions. So can you find someone who can write 1.4 hours in hours and minutes? Can you find someone who can complete the formula speed equals? And my personal favourite, can you find someone who can calculate the distance travelled to 3 significant figures when travelling for 8 hours, 10 minutes at the speed of 55 kilometres an hour? That's the kind of person I'd like to be friends with who can answer that. So this is just a nice little mathematical twist on a standard kind of activity, but I really like it because it has all the advantages of the previous one, that it gets kids talking to each other, and we all know how important it is that kids work together in a positive, cooperative manner. But specifically it gets them talking about mathematics. And of course you might be thinking to yourself, oh wait a minute, that's great, but I'm not doing distance, speed, time first lesson. But this format can be used with anything. All you need are questions, and in this case 12 questions or 15 questions or 20 questions on any topic. And the idea is kids wander around and get themselves talking to each other and filling out the grid. The TES author has kindly provided the answers to this as well, which is always a bonus. Considerations, behaviour's one, of course. Do you want your kids wandering around chatting to each other first lesson? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it starts off with you laying out the ground rules specifically for how group work and these kind of activities happen, and then using this almost as a trial. And in terms, as I say, of extension and making this broader, we can use any topic that we like with this. Fractions, ratio, solving equations, or even a mixed bag. And that got me thinking that this doesn't have to be the start of the year. What a nice revision activity this may be. Say you're coming up to GCSE or you're coming up to an end of term test. Just a series of questions and students wandering around the room, talking to each other and swapping ideas. And maybe even, and I'm not entirely sure this will work, but just hear me out here, what's wrong with the kids answering these questions themselves first and then wandering around and showing them to other students as a means of checking, talking through their answers, and then maybe every time they've checked one, give it a little tick. And the idea is, can they tick off all 12 within 20 minutes or something like that? That way, it's not just a case of kind of copying off each other. It's students having a go themselves and then collaborating to check answers, talk through disagreements and so on. So loads of potential for this. As I say, firstly, I thought this is an ideal first lesson of the year. But the more you think about it, the more this could be a twist on an effective revision strategy maybe. So there it is, distance, speed, time, find someone who. If you use this resource, hop back onto this page, give it a rating, give it a review, share your thanks to Dave3292, and I hope the start of the school year goes well, and I'll see you for a fresh resource of the week next week. Take care of yourselves, bye for now.